with the stroke of a pen in the White House. Thousands of miles away, lives are seemingly overturned. Approximately 12,000 kilometers from Washington, D.C., in Kakkuma refugee camp, northwest Kenya's Turkana County, the fallout hits hard, sparking protest with refugees demonstrating against reduced food and water rations. Some protests turned violent.
Sasa watu nakimbia. Sasa mimi naona nini polisi mingi sana kuja na marasasi akatupa nini tear gas.
Reportedly, the World Food Programme, which relies heavily on international contributions, has slashed rations to 40%. Refugees now receive 3 kg of cereals per person per month, with items like vegetable oil removed from the food baskets.
Tuko tayari kwenda nyumbani. Hatujakata. Licha kwamba nchi yetu kuna vita, lakini tuko tayari kwenda nyumbani kwa sababu hatutakubali kuendelea kuwa na manyanyaso.
The rice. Since we start rice in 2010 up to now. This is for adults and oil. This is used. This is equivalent for 1 month. When you eat, assume for yourself. We don't have other income somewhere. It's only this. Well, this thing is enough for you.
The funding cuts have not only affected immediate humanitarian aid, but also raised concerns about long-term socio-economic integration efforts and initiatives like the Sharika plan. Amid the crisis, the government rolled out the Sharika plan on April 28, 2025. Launched by President William Ruto, it aims to transform camps like Kakuma into integrated settlements, offering refugees education, healthcare, jobs and documentation.
Don't plan for refugees. Kenya government plans for Kenyans. Then the refugees can benefit from the services provided to Kenyans.
If you go to Kakuma today or Turkana West, the refugees are living like kings and our people are laborers. They work in the refugee camps.
In the heart of Turkana's vast, arid landscape lies Kakkuma refugee camp. Here, rows of simple shelters form neighborhoods. Kakkuma 1, 2, 3 and 4, these stretching across the dust. Established in 1992, Kakkuma refugee camp is one of the largest refugee camps in the world. The camp was initially created to host unaccompanied minors fleeing the civil war in Sudan. Over the years, the camp has grown to accommodate over 300,000 refugees from various countries, including Somalia, Ethiopia, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Sudan, among other countries. In this camp, bustling with activity, there is growing tension among its occupants. The recent cuts in the United States funding have had significant repercussions for refugees residing in this camp. In the camp's heart, we meet Nyagoa Thought, a 26-year-old mother of 2. Fleeing Ethiopia's Gembele region in 2009, she's now alone after her husband returned to South Sudan. She hopes remarriage might save her children from hunger.
At least hakuna chakula imeisha huko. Sasa ndio tumekuja kupata maisha imeanza sasa huko ngumu kabisa. Sasa bila nimeona hivi because nimekuja hapa Kenya na nilikuwa mdogo. Sasa mimi siwezi kujali because takuja na system ya hapo Kenya. Because kama nimeona mtu ananitesa, sasa nifanye nini? Nafadhali niendelee venye life inaweza kunisaidia.
The 26-year-old mom of 12 and 5-year-old single-handedly raising her 2 children after her husband went back to his country of origin, South Sudan, shares that the recent changes in food rations greatly affected her lifestyle together with her young ones.
Kitambo bila tulikuwa hapa tulianza 2009 mambo ilikuwa mzuri sana. Tunapata chakula yetu mzuri na tutapokea mzuri. By this time, sasa maisha yameanza kuwa ngumu kwa mimi sina msaada, maana sina.
Yards away, after walking through the narrow dirt paths in the settlement, we connect with Bahati Odea, who hails from Uviria in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Hiyo kukule inakuwa ya hivyo, wengine hawatashiba. Inakuwa chakula imeisha, ugali imeisha. Sasa mimi ndafanya nini? Chakula hakuna. Ile yenye inapatikana tukule hiyo. Basi, kifika asubuhi kama hakuna yenye imelala, mtoto anakuja mama wawa. Itatoka wapi? Hakuna, imeisha. Tunaisha hapa.
With 9 children, Bahati has turned to selling mandazi to at least provide for all her school-going children. The 35-year-old says the recently introduced food rationing system is severe, forcing her children to skip school.
Unaanza jiuliza watoto watakula nini? Hata ile chakula asubuhi watoto hawapati. Kama wataka kuenda shule, chai itatoka wapi? Wanavaa tu uniform wanaenda. Kuna wakati mwingine wakiomba pesa kwa shule, tunaishiwa pesa hapo, tutatoa wapi? Kama sijapiga hiyo mandazi, niweke hapo kwa barabara. Hata kiatu kununua mtoto ni shida.
At the moment, living inside the Kakuma refugee camp, it is a precarious situation. But for the refugees, it is living a day at a time. As for tomorrow, there are no plans.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The root of all this, an executive order titled Re-evaluating and Realigning United States Foreign Aid, signed by President Donald Trump in early 2025. It halted funding through US aid, which funneled over $3 billion or 387,630 million Kenya shillings annually into programs including refugee support in Kenya. Trump's decision quickly led to protest in Kakkuma, with refugees up in arms over the introduced food rations occasioned by the cuts in funding. 18-year-old Malia Rek at South Sudan National is still reeling in pain after surviving 2 gunshots allegedly after being shot at by Kenyan police officers who were dispersing protesters.
Mimi nimeona polisi mingi sana kuja na marasasi. Akatupa tear gas. Kutupa tear gas hivi mimi nimeona mtu amepiga hapo, amepiga yeye na marasasi. Sasa mimi nataka kukimbia. Polisi kakuja kapiga mimi marasasi. Mimi kalala.
Malia is among the survivors of the March 3rd, 2025 incident where at least 5 people were injured, leaving 1 person dead according to reports.
Hata hiyo siku mwalimu kakuja, mimi nimepiga mwalimu. Mwalimu kakuja, mwalimu kaniambia siende shule. Paka hii mkono apone. Mimi nisikia mwalimu tu, mimi nimekaa nyumbani. Hata saa hii mimi miss mtihani.
Thought to be among the remedies of this quagmire, recently at State House Nairobi, government rolled out a plan known as the Sharika plan. The plan seeks to promote socio-economic inclusion by transitioning refugee camps into integrated settlements. This involves providing refugees with access to education, healthcare, employment opportunities, and documentation that enables them to participate in Kenya's socio-economic ecosystem.
And this plan is a response by the government of Kenya on how we can translate refugees and the host community's relationship into a win-win relationship.
We see deep cuts to humanitarian and development budgets worldwide, sometimes to boost domestic spending on defense and security. Please, let us not lose sight of the fact that initiatives like the Sharika plan not only aim at putting an end to long-standing humanitarian crises, they also have a crucial stabilizing effect.
In the camp, however, many refugees read from a different script. Palwal, a largely unsung hero within the Kakuma refugee camp, has been a key champion of integration through culture and music.
But where we are at the moment, we are in Kakkuma Sound Cultural Research Center, that whereby this culture is meant to bring all the different cultures then together in Kakkuma so that they can have the portrait, they can have that love, that they all believe that they are all Africans.
He has worked tirelessly to foster unity among the refugees. On the other hand, a student from Masinde Muliro University holds a different perspective, particularly when it comes to the idea of being integrated by the host community, the Turkana people.
This issue of integration should be under question mark, because the government should also find a way of making sure that these hosts are good before integrating refugees, because it's added burden. Because if the government themselves are unwilling to support the host, how sure are refugees that are going to be supported?
Kukua Mkenya tutaki, tunataka tusaidike, tutoke hapa. Kwa hii jua ni kali, vumbi ndio hiyo inakuja. Ikipita hapa hata nyinyi hamwezi ongea. Nashinda tukifunga macho, meno ndio naangalia. Haki.
In this harsh, dry, dusty town, the Turkana people partly agree with the world's sentiments. Some members of the host community believing that refugees already live a better life than the locals.
Hii wa refugee walikuja kukimbilia kwa sisi kutafuta usalama. Lakini sasa tukaharibisha alafu tuwapatie vitambulisho, naona kama ni vigumu hapo. Serikali imepoteza hapo, imepoteza network kidogo. Maana hii kambi vile sisi wenye tumeishi hapa, niliingia hao kambi wao refugee walikuja kwa hii kambi mimi nikiwa na watoto wangapi watatu. Sasa hivi vile tunaongea na wewe nimefikisha watoto 14 na niko na wajukuu 18. Na mimi nina watoto hata wengine wana kazi. Sasa kama hao wakambi wakipewa vitambulisho, hakika hawa ndio watasaidika. Ndio kazi itapatikana.
The community further expresses that there is already an ongoing conflict between the host community and refugees over the limited resources available in Turkana.
Naweza kuambia wakimbizi wanaishi vizuri kwa sababu wakimbizi wao wanapimiwa chakula. I think every 1 week ama sijui every 2 weeks wanapimiwa chakula na unapata chakula yenye wanapewa ni chakula mzuri sana. Hiyo chakula ndio bado wanatoa, wale wako na roho mzuri wanatoa, wanasaidia pia watu Turkana ndio wapate chakula ya kula.
Local leaders have warned that the refugees integration plan could lead to conflicts with the host communities already grappling with a food and water crisis.
You cannot create a program in Kenya that gives refugees preference against hosts. You definitely are inviting problems as a country.
You know, it is ridiculous. Turkana is hosting people from around 45 nationalities. But again, the government of Kenya, not just this government now, it has been there, does not take Turkana seriously.
That fear that is getting into my community is the kind of fear that is getting into me, that surely if these people then are really integrated, how will life look like?
On the other hand, the Sharika plan is viewed as a positive step by Kenya towards supporting refugees, with the government attempting to strike a delicate balance between assisting refugees and addressing the needs of its own people, as local leaders propose solutions to resolve these decade-long predicament.
We are precarious as a county already in terms of living standard. Okay? By having refugees, that burden is getting heavier. So there should be a program that tries to support the host community to be able to help the refugees.
Instead of refugees going back, their numbers are bulging every day. So this burden has to be shared across the country. Then refugees must be split into pieces, taken to various parts of the country and be managed there. It will be good.
As it is at now, refugees themselves are fierce, Turkana people are fierce, as the leadership are fierce. So that is the situation on the ground.
What is coming out clear is that the host community understands what will work for them. Same case applies to the refugees being hosted at Kakuma refugee camp. And now the government and stakeholders are being called upon to go back to the drawing board and come up with policies that are favorable to everyone. Mwege William for TV 47, Kakuma, Turkana County.